Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about bipods. Okay, so I've done a bunch of videos in the past, particularly focusing on the cvlife bipods, but I've covered others. The cvlife ones are the ones that I have primarily been using. Um, the reason is because, first of all, like I do a lot of like 500-yard shooting, and in order to do that, a lot of times I gotta basically go like travel through a field or the woods, and the rifle slung on my back, and I don't have the benefit of a table or bags, so I have to shoot prone, right? And the bipod allows me to stabilize the rifle so I can shoot, good distances, 300 to 500 yards. Um, so I've done a bunch of videos with the cvlife ones. That's what I've been working with, but now I also got some Magpul ones, right? Two different types from Magpuls, and I want to talk about. Basically, I kind of want to do a comparison. I mean, the first thing that's going to stand out is that the Magpul ones are like $100. The cvlife ones are like $50. Okay, so there's a price difference there. And what I'm going to say is, like, as far as the legs, there really isn't that much of a difference. The cvlife one, basically, you can extend the legs. The legs are pretty sturdy, right? They lock into place. You've got little T markings here. You can fold them up. Now they go in both directions. So when it's on a rifle, you can fold it back or you can fold it forward. Okay. With the Magpul ones, it only folds in one direction. Right. Push the button here. You could pull it down, but then you gotta hit the button to put it back up. Yeah, naturally, this is going to be a stronger design, right? So anytime you have one that will fold in either direction, front or back, I mean, if you hit this hard enough, it's gonna fold back, okay? So the Magpul ones, they're a little bit more sturdy. At the same time, though, I have not had a problem with the cvlife ones as far as the legs go, okay? As far as the legs go. So the legs are fine. Now, one of the issues that I have run into with the cvlife ones, because the cvlife one is extremely flexible, right? So here's the thing: when you loosen this thing up, okay, this has a lot of flexibility, right? It'll turn this way, but it'll also turn to the side, and that's especially useful if the ground is like a little uneven, right? And usually I have like a bubble level on the gun, so I can level it off, okay? Now, usually, like if the ground is off a lot, you can extend one leg and leave the other one not extended. But if you need to make a finer adjustment, right, on a hillside or something, the top swivels, right? That's very flexible. Now, one of the things that does get a little bit annoying, okay, because what happens is once you get into your positions, you basically lock this tight, right? So the weight of the gun on top, no matter how tight I'm able to make the cvlife one, if I just put a little bit of weight on it, yeah, I mean, like right now with my hand, it won't break, but with the weight of the rifle, if I push it to the side, yeah, it'll break over. Okay, so the Magpul ones, they do have basically the design is such that it seems to lock it into place better. I've got two Magpul ones. This one is the M-Lock, okay, and this one over here. This one's actually less flexible, right? Because this one doesn't have that side. Because the thing that unlocks this thing over here, right, to make this, give it that side-to-side flexibility, right? Right. So this Magpul one has side-to-side flexibility. Well, on this one, it's not an M-Lock style. What this one does is when you tighten this one over here, these two arms over here, basically they pinch together, right? There you go. As you turn it, it pinches together, and what that does is it pinches into this stud over here. So that style, the style basically matches up to this stud over here, not to M-Lock and not to Picatinny. You specifically have to have this stud and you do have to buy this separate. It doesn't come with it. Okay, so you gotta pay extra for that stud. So that seems to be the stronger style. Like if you want to be able to put this on and not have it move, not have it come up, it seems like that is the stronger style. So now, as far as how it attaches to the rifle, let's talk about that for a second. On most of my rifles, right, on all my rifles, in fact, right, what I do is I put a 3-slot Picatinny rail here, okay, and most of the time I'm using that as an anchoring point for my hands, okay. So my hand always goes there, okay, right. I grab it there. I'm always grabbing in that same exact position, okay. So I have that. All of my ARs, okay? All right, 3-slot there, rail there. That's an anchor. Caps. All right, get you off. Okay, so anchoring point there. I get on the gun. Everything's always in the same position. Okay, come up. Okay, so there's always a 3-slot rail there. Okay? Here's another one over here. All right, 3-slot rail there. Grab this. So even in the dark, I can feel that. I can grab it. I'm always going to be in that same position, okay? So I've always got this 3-slot rail there. So the thing I like about the cvlife one is since there's always a 3-slot rail on my ARs that I'm using as a hand stop, basically, the quick attach, the quick attach or detach mechanism here is extremely convenient because I can quickly attach it. Rest on the cable. So there's a screw on the other side that I'm turning. There you go. Okay, so those little Picatinny rails, there's usually a slight difference from one to the other. So I usually have to turn this screw over here just a little bit to get it to lock in place. But once I got it locked in place, it works great. The only issue with this is when I tighten this up, let's tighten this up over here. I put it on the table. You know, with enough pressure, it will break to either side. Okay, so it's not doing it right now, but like a lot of times as I'm on a position, a lot of times I find that it does break to one side or the other. Okay, so that's working really good, and I got 2 of them. I got the black one, and I've got a tan one. Okay, this one I've actually had for a longer period of time. Now I'm going to say I did run into one problem with these quick attach ones. Okay, the screw that you see, because there's a bolt that goes in over here, but again you tighten it from that side, and that allows the right tension. One of them that I had received, the threading on that bolt stripped out. Okay, and it was replaced, but the threading of that bolt did strip out. So, and I did, I made cvlife aware of this. So that's like one of my reservations. Like, damn, I wish that thing was a little bit stronger. Okay, so again with this one, let's get this one in the rifle. All right, so again, on that 3-slot rail, that's always on the rifle anyway. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So you want it to be like kind of tight when you put it in, because if it's like on the loose side, once you lock it down, it might move around a little bit, right? So you want it like as tight as you can, right, when you set that screw, so that you can kind of just like sort of like force it in. Okay, so let's tighten this over here, and let's see how this one does. Yeah, see this one, and again I've had this one longer. All right, so I've made this pretty tight. Okay, yeah, and see how that kind of moves side to side. So that's a little bit annoying. Okay, the black one, which is newer, has a little bit. It's more resistant. They might have improved upon it. It might have been an improvement, but this FDE color one Like even when I lock it in place, it will go side to side. So I mean, again, it's something that I can overcome, right? I mean, it's just a matter of holding the gun straight. But it's there, and it can be a little bit annoying. Okay, now let's put the let's do the Magpul one. We got two Magpul. Let's do the one with the M lock. The Magpul one by design is stronger because the legs only go in one direction, okay? Which means that on the reverse side, there's a hard stop, right? There's a hard plastic stop. So that's going to be stronger, 100%. So yes, this is better, okay? This is better. But issue I got here is let's now attach this to the rifle. Now the issue with this is you have to have a tool, which I had to bring out. You gotta have a tool, and you gotta deal with this shit. Okay, so you guys saw how relatively easy I got the quick attach ones on. Let's see how long this one takes. Now the other thing I'm gonna mention is, like I said, I have the 3-slot rail here, right? So now I'm gonna put this forward. Forward is better, right? Because when you're in the prone position, you do want the bipod as far up as possible, because you know, just a little bit of, like, if the bipod's sitting in the middle over here, what happens is a little bit of motion in the back is a pretty big motion in the front. If it's in the front, as you move this over here, there's less of a motion, so you're able to make finer adjustments left, right, if the bipod is more to the front. Again, however, just for the sake of practicality, I usually just attach it to the 3-slot that's already there. Now, one of the other benefits of that with the 3-slot rail is when I fold this, right, the legs don't extend past the muzzle, okay? Because when I do put it all the way up here, what's going to happen is the legs are going to extend all the way up here. Now, with the cvlife ones, right, if I were to put this to the front, right, because now let's say I put another 3-slot rail up here, which I don't want to do. I don't want to have 3-slot rails all over this thing. Okay, but let's say I decided to put this 3-slot rail up here, right, and mount the bipod in the front. Well, the nice thing about the cvlife is that I can fold these to the back like that, right, and I won't have the legs protruding out in the front. Okay. Okay, so with this one I can fold it either way, right, because I have it further back. Okay, so and you can see, even though I have this tight, this thing still wants to move. Okay, so it might be specific to this one bipod that I have here, because the black one doesn't seem to do it, but at the same time, I've had this one longer, so it might just also be more worn. So with this one here that we're going to now mount, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to move this. Let's put this here, right? So I put here, like I said, this only folds in one direction. It has to fold forward, right? Because this way, when you push forward into the bipod, right? So we're going to set this so that the legs fold forward. This way, when they lock back, you know, if we push into the bipod, we get the strongest possible position that we can get. So again, this is going to be a stronger bipod. You know, if you're pushing into the bipod, trying to stabilize it, this is going to be better for that. Okay. Let me get behind the table. All right. So let's see. Let's get you guys. Okay. Put this key here. So obviously I could pause the video, right, and do this, but I kind of want you guys to see what's involved with setting this up. So there you go. Got that one to catch. Get this thing a little tighter here so it's not all over the place. Just drop the Allen key. Leg forward, leg forward. Let's find the Allen key. So, lose the Allen key, shit out of luck. And the thing with bipods is, like, it's one of those things that I do take on and off, right? It's not something that just stays on the rifle. It's something that like, unless I'm specifically going to be shooting prone, I don't want that extra weight on the gun, or that extra snag hazard that's catching stuff. Okay, good. So that's in position now. Tighter. Level this off a little bit. All right, it's level. Tight. Okay. Just a little bit side to side movement. Let's get you tighter. Okay. Yeah, so this actually does kind of the same thing. So it's not, it's an improvement over the FDE one that I got here. The cvlife black one's actually sitting the tightest right now. The cvlife tan FDE one, that's black one's sitting the tightest. The FDE one has a lot of movement, despite me tightening it. I'm trying to get you tighter. Again, we're just finger tightening here. We're not going. Okay. So that's still going to move. Okay. So that's not a major improvement. Okay. So in that area, the $100 Magpul is not doing any better than the cvlife one, FDE one, and the cvlife black one is actually beating the Magpul ones in that area as far as side-to-side stability. Okay, so good. All right, now you saw what's involved with that. Now let's get this one on. This is the one that basically it pinches on the stud. Okay, so with this one, it kind of, because with the Scar, I mean, obviously this is like primarily a distance shooter, right? It's a 308 Scar 17. So with this, yeah, we're gonna, there's no hand stop here. First of all, because of the piston up here, this is pretty thick, so I'm not gonna, you're not gonna have a hand stop or anything on this. So I'm not gonna have a 3-slot rail here, because then it just makes it even thicker, right? So that doesn't make sense. So it makes actually sense to have this little stud that goes all the way to the front, and your hand never goes near it. Okay, so let's see what's involved with getting this on. Go back on the table. Okay, it's pinching on it. And those legs actually suck in, like as you squeeze them, they pinch together and they pull down. So initially there'll be some space there, but as you continue to turn it, it'll continue to pull in. With the other side, the fingers are getting tied over there. Okay, so we got it nice and tight here. I'll wrap around, show it to you guys. So eventually you'll get it to sit flush. All right, so you see how it's sitting flush over there. So this is by far like the most stable of all the bipods I got here. I think that this setup is the strongest, right? It has the least movement. This one doesn't have that side to side. I mean, it's just not designed to have any of that side to side. So no matter how hard I push to the sides over here, right? It's not going to fold to the sides. So this is actually like, this would be my favorite, except that I have to use that stud, which I really don't want to use that stud. I want to use the 3-slot rail. Okay, so what I would like, is I would like this style over here that you twist and clamps together, but I want it to do it on the 3-slot rail, right? Not on that little nipple stud. Okay, I don't like the nipple stud. Right? I want to do it on the 3-slot rail, which is on the rifle anyway. Okay, so that's the And the reason is because, you know, it's I think that's the strongest. But the thing is, that's a little annoying. I have to sit there twisting it, twist, 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 twist. So here's the honest thing now. Which one? Like, I got these different bipods here, right? Which one do I use? Which one would I take into the woods, right, or go to the field? The reality is, I'm going to take this cvlife quick detach every time, because do it tight on there. Come on, get up there. There we go. Because I can take this off really fast, and I can put it on really fast. Just quick attach it back into place. And like I said, the only issue I have had is with the screws stripping out. So they got to use a harder metal on those screws, okay? They got to have, like I said, it's only happened once. Hasn't happened to this one yet. Hasn't happened to the other one yet. But that's a yet. I don't know. But like, if I'm going to go shoot, if I'm going to go to a field and shoot 500 yards, yeah, this is the one I'm going to take, right? Because like when I put the rifle in the bag, right, I'm not going to have the bipod on it because it's a soft bag, and that's not going to sit very well in the bag. So I'm going to detach this, right? So I'm going to detach this. That's going to go in the bag. This is going to go separate, right? And what's going to happen is when I get to the field, I'm going to say, okay, let's put this on. And I don't want to sit there doing, like, you know, twisting it to get those things to pinch together. And I certainly don't want to be messing with an Allen key trying to get these, you know, these M-locks to catch the M-lock rail, right? That's not what I want to do. So practically speaking, realistically speaking, this is the one I'm going to take, the cvlife one, okay? It's not as strong as the Magpul one, I think, but on a day-to-day basis, it's just a little easier for me to work with. Right? So, my thoughts on this. Drop some comments. Let me know which one you would take, man. You know, which one would you choose to go? Now, I think for like an SHTF situation, I think we're all going to go with the Magpul one because, like I said, it is stronger. It is going to last longer. Okay. But not every rifle is SHTF, right? And not every rifle is SHTF gun, and not every day is SHTF, you know, training and preparing. You know, sometimes I want to just test out a gun. I want to take it out into a field, you know, and see how it does at 500 yards, or you know, and I just want to get the bipod on there real quick and then take it off real quick. Okay, so that's gonna bring me back to the. That's going to bring me to the quick detach cvlife one every time, okay? So, yeah, let me know what you guys would do, all right? I'll drop some comments. Talk to you all soon. I want to add one more thing. Between the two Magpuls, right? Between these two Magpuls, these two designs, which one would I get? I would get the one that pinches, right? The reason is because working with the Allen key, trying to get around the legs of this thing is really a pain in the ass, okay? And especially if you're doing this in the field, trying to work with an Allen key. What I think is easier is to get the one that pinches, and you just buy like one or two of these, because this attaches by M-lock, okay? Actually, yeah, this one in particular is key mod, because Scar puts key mods on this shit. But I would get an M-lock stud or two, right? And if you think that you're gonna be using a bipod that day, I would put that on the rifle, okay? And then what I would do is, you know, because you can do the twisty thing here, you're not gonna be dropping Allen keys in the woods and stuff like that. So I think between the two Magpul ones, this is the one that I would recommend. This is easier to work with. So this is the one I would use for like SHTF, right? A little bit more durable. And then for day to day, I would use the cvlife ones, which will quick attach onto this 3-slot rail that's already there. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. What I also wanted to do is I wanted to fold these up so you guys can see what it looks folded. Okay, so on the scar here, that is in its most forward position. Okay, so if you're going through the woods, right, this is an area where stuff's going to catch. Branches is going to catch. Okay, so with the Magpul one, I can't fold it back. And like I said, there's always a cost benefit. By this not being able to fold back, it's stronger. Like you can push into it, it is going to be stronger. Okay, but the cost of that is that if you're going through the woods, all sorts of branches and shit are going to get caught in this, like, you know, triad over here that you now have. Okay, down. Okay, so this is the one where that goes into the M lock. We put that ahead of that 3-slot rail. Okay, so again, stuff's gonna get caught up in there. Okay, but stronger because this does not fold back. You can push forward into that and really get a stable position to shoot off of. Okay. Now with this one over here, this folds up like this. This is the one that that wants to have that side-to-side swivel. This is where this locks back. If you push hard enough into this, you probably will get this to pop and fold. You know, like if you're loading up on the bipod and you push forward, it's probably gonna give at some point and it will collapse on you. Okay, but the benefit of this is if you're going through the woods, right, if you're like this and it's catching branches, you just fold it back. Okay, and now you're not catching branches. Okay, so that's what you gain there. Okay. Same deal here. It's on that 3-slot rail. Okay. I'll fold back over here. Okay. So there's always a trade-off, you know. The Magpul's definitely stronger. cvlife definitely a little easier to work with on day-to-day shooting.